So, other than Dex-Starr,
Yeah.
who is your favourite fictional cat?
Salem. The DC Universe is home to innumerable godlike beings capable of obliterating entire cities with a well-placed backhand or dropkick. Amusingly, standing amongst this pantheon of near immeasurably powerful characters is a humble house cat called Dex-Starr.
So who is Dex-Starr and why is he so powerful?
He is a house cat who is a member of the Red Lantern Corps. And we'll discuss what that means in a moment, but as a member of the Red Lantern Corps, he wields a red power ring, an object very matter-of-factly described in DC canon as one of the singular most powerful objects in the known universe.
So most people will know about the Green Lantern Corps.
Yes.
Thanks to Ryan Reynolds.
Of course, yeah. Good movie that one, mate. Keep it up.
And as far as I'm aware, their power is they summon constructs made of their will.
Yeah, it's like their power is directly correlated to the amount of willpower they possess. So beings with a particularly strong sense of willpower are theoretically, when wielding a Green Lantern ring, some of the most powerful beings in existence. And obviously, there's the Ryan Reynolds, I think it's Hal Jordan he plays, but my favourite will be Jon Stewart. And every Green Lantern is different because obviously the things you can construct with a lantern ring are limited only by your own imagination, which is why I prefer Jon Stewart, because he's got a background as an engineer. And there's a little throwaway line tucked away in one comic that says, Jon Stewart's constructs are the strongest of any lantern because of his background as an engineer, because he builds them from scratch in his mind, and everything down to the nuts and bolts is something he thinks about. And you've got Hal Jordan who makes a big giant fist.
So is there a limit to what a Green Lantern can make?
Not really, no. It's limited only by their own imagination and their own reserves of willpower. And then I think the rings require recharging every now and again. But the actual source of the power is effectively infinite. So with that in mind, Brad, before we move on to Dex-Starr and the Red Lanterns, who do you think from fiction would make the strongest Green Lantern?
I'm thinking Lord Friendzone himself, Jorah Mormont.
Oh man, thing is though, I bet he'd be fucking amazing. I recently rewatched all of Game of Thrones in preparation for season 8, and I realised holy shit, that guy's a fucking badass. He is the id of the character John Cena plays in wrestling, made human.
Yeah, if he's fighting for Daenerys, his willpower will never end.
This is so stupid. I will murder any fucker who gets in my way just for a chance to see my queen. God, man, Ian Glenn, he owns that role so hard. But in a similar vein, I'm going to go for Ulrich von Liechtenstein from A Knight's Tale. Because we see in that film that Heath Ledger is a character, is capable of just sitting there and taking endless lancers to the face, purely so he can get laid.
Joel from Santa Clarita Diet.
Oh man, why?
He's got so much to stick in that situation.
Oh yeah,
and not falter.
So I'm gonna fuck a zombie. I don't give a shit. Then again, I'd fuck a zombie if it looked like Drew Barrymore, man. I don't give a fuck. He puts up with so much shit in that TV show. And he's like, yeah, this is cool. I can do this. This is fine.
Okay then. I'm gonna step out. Text me when you're done.
Oh man, in this case we have to say John Cena as well. Well, not John Cena, the character he plays on stage. So I think if you get the cartoonish Superman version of John Cena portrayed in wrestling matches, that's fucking game over, man. That guy, his motto is never give up. Imagine the kind of shit he'd be able to create with his degree in thugonomics and his minor in thugonometry. It's shit's going down. Shit's going down.
So that's how Green Lanterns create their constructs?
Yes.
How do Red Lanterns create constructs?
Well, there's a number of lanterns, all of different colours, and each individual colour corresponds to something called the emotional spectrum, with each emotion responding to a specific colour, and the colour red is rage. I think there's a throwaway line in one of the comics somewhere that says Red Lanterns are amongst the most dangerous because rage is just such an all-consuming emotion that to the point where one of the first things you do when a Red Lantern power ring takes over your body and deems you worthy is vomit up all of your blood. Yeah, and instead it's replaced by a corrosive acid-like substance that you can then weaponize by vomiting in people's faces. And it's noted as being so highly corrosive it burns even in space, which means that Dex-Starr the cat can kill people in low orbit by just vomiting on them. Furballs have never been so fucking dangerous in that universe, man. And then another thing it does well is your heart stops working. So if you ever take the Red Lantern powering off, you die. Because you don't, obviously there's no blood left in your body. The only thing, like, you are literally powered by nothing but your rage.
On a similar vein then, who do you think in fiction, not counting superheroes, would make the best Red Lantern?
John Wick.
John Wick.
John Wick. Imagine
Yes.
John Wick with like the angriest man in the world. That's what it is. It's basically like, who is the angriest man in fiction? It's John Wick. He's so pissed off in all those movies. And I'd like to imagine as well that his little dog would also get the power ring. And I'd hope it'd be like Dex-Starr, where it wears the power ring on the tail. Because that's how Dex-Starr wears it.
So let's not beat around the bush. How the hell did a house cat become a Red Lantern?
Oh, you mean a creature of pure rage capable of melting Superman's dick off? Well, it's because Dex-Starr had a hard fucking life. And this impossibly powerful creature defined by its unrelenting rage actually started life as a little house cat called Dexter, who was all kinds of adorable.
He's got a little collar on, and he's got his name on the collar, and it's like a little shape of a fish.
Yeah, I know, and then his owner died.
His owner dies?
Oh yeah, well remember, Dex-Starr's in a comic book, so his backstory has got to be tragic. And his is that he's like a stray, or he's in a pound, and he gets adopted by a nice lady who lives on her own, who treats him super nice, and then one evening, criminals break into her home and beat her to death. And the next day, obviously, the police turn up, they find the dead body, they assume that, like, oh no, this must be a stray, and they kick him out of the house. So they leave him without a home, and he wanders around on the streets, like dejected and alone, and then, because obviously his life's not shit enough, some thugs come up, pick him up, and chuck him in a sack, and then they throw that into a river.
Just to be dicks?
Yeah, just to be dicks, because obviously, fuck you, you're a cat. And then at that exact moment, Dexter, the little cat, is so consumed with like rage and anger that a passing Red Lantern ring detects it, flies down and saves his life, and grants him untold destructive capabilities with which to exact his revenge, which he does almost immediately.
I'm going to guess that the thugs who threw him into the river don't fare particularly well after this.
Oh no, like Dexter immediately goes and murders them by just like tearing out their own skulls. And the thing is, I'm not done yet, because remember how I said Dex-Starr's backstory is tragic?
Yeah.
Like, despite having all this power, he still doesn't know who killed his original master, and he's really upset about it. And this is amazing, because in this dumb-ass comic about the backstory of a cat who flies around vomiting its own acidic blood in people's faces, it has a panel of him curled up on some skulls, thinking to himself that, I will track down the people who killed my master. This is my mission. This is my sole goal. I'm a good kitty. That is amazing. This is the movie I want DC to make. Jokes obviously like they're clutching at straws. Make a Dex-Starr movie. Like, Marvel have shown people will care about dumb-looking characters. Like, Rocket Raccoon is like one of the most sympathetic characters in the MCU because he just looks like a sad ass all the time. Have you seen like in the Avengers the Fallen posters where he's just a raccoon, he's just sad, and everyone's getting super like upset about the fact this CGI raccoon has no friends. So I want a Dex-Starr movie because that'd be amazing. Not to mention, his backstory is more tragic than Batman's, because yeah, Batman's parents get killed, but what does Batman then go and do? Learn sick ninja moves and live in a giant mansion. What does Dex-Starr have to do? He has to sleep on skulls.
Wake up, cat.
DC has got a current huge rock on for like dark, depressing shit, so...
This is the one, get Zack Snyder direct, imagine some Zack Snyder directed CGI action scenes where it's a cat doing all sorts of cool shit.
And people won't think it's weird when he's falling asleep in a pit of skulls.
It makes perfect sense. This is the perfect movie for Zack Snyder. You can have the main character drowning in a pit of skulls, screaming angrily and murdering everybody, and it'd make sense, because that's literally what the character's all about. Fucking hell, man. Make this movie DC, it'd be amazing.
So we said, Green Lantern, our choice. You want Ulrich von Lichtenstein?
Yes, because he's got so much willpower and he's got the creativity.
And we said for Red Lantern, John Wick.
Yes. Oh, and I see where this is going. Do you want to do the rest of the Lantern Corps?
Yeah, we need to go through. So I've brought up a list.
Of all the lanterns.
And I really hope it's an accurate list.
It probably will be, yeah.
Because someone's going to get really salty if it's not. So we'll start with Orange Lanterns.
Okay, and if I recall correctly, their defining emotion is greed, and or avarice. A character defined by greed. Like, the one that springs to mind, Gollum?
Gollum.
But I don't think he's very good at fighting, is he?
I mean, he wouldn't need to be. A cat was not initially good at fighting. He gets the ring and becomes awesome.
Yeah, I suppose. And then I think in the comics as well, the Orange Lanterns are amongst the strongest because there's only one ring.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's because they're so greedy.
Well, then Gollum sounds perfect
Exactly,
if there's
yeah.
one ring.
Well, the story behind the Orange Lantern is because they're so greedy, and they're so all consumed by their avarice. They will not share the power the ring has. So it's the only lantern ring capable of powering itself to over I think 80,000% or something like that. It's the only ring that can overcharge. So I think that Gollum is the only choice because it's literally one ring that's super powerful that he's supposed to obsess over.
So next up, yellow.
So that's the emotion of fear. And if I recall correctly, it's defined nebulously, isn't it? It's like you can either be a person who's driven by fear or driven by the desire to cause it in other people. Which means, so I'm going to put out there, Courage the Cowardly Dog. Because he is a creature utterly defined by his complete fearfulness, but his ability to overcome it. So then obviously Courage the Cowardly Dog, he's scared of fucking everything, but he still uses that as his primary drive to save other people. And I think he could be a heroic Yellow Lantern.
What about Voldemort?
Voldemort. Yeah.
He is people look at him, they refuse to say his name
Yeah,
because they're so scared
that's
of
pretty
him.
good. He's on the opposite end of the spectrum, isn't he? He's a character who lives to instill fear. Yeah. And he probably gets a huge hard-on by the fact people are so terrified of him, they refuse to speak his name. But I'm just going to go out there and say, well, let's be more powerful, Shaggy. So who's more terrified of everything than fucking Shaggy? But then there's all the memes about him.
I think Shaggy's perfect
0%
because
of
he's
his
scared of
power.
everything, but now everyone is also scared of him.
Yeah. He's both sides. He is the alpha and the omega.
He's done it.
So we've got Shaggy. Next one. Let's go.
Perfect. Okay, next one, Blue Lantern.
That's Hope, isn't it?
Hope is
there we go.
Hope,
So I read too many comic books. So Hope, it's that again, it's another nebulously defined one. It's someone who either has immense reserves of hope or inspires it in others. Tom Hanks' character from Castaway, because he never gives up hope that he's going to be found. He's on that island for 3 fucking years, and he never once loses hope that he is going to get back to his wife and bang her senseless. Not to mention as well, he also delivers all the packages. Come on, what's the next one then?
Indigo.
And that is compassion.
Compassion.
There it is. So the emotion of compassion, a character defined by the compassion for others. Well, I know they're not fictional characters. I'm going to say Steve Irwin.
Steve Irwin.
Yeah, who loved animals? Well, he loved all of the creatures of the earth so much. So much.
I mean, if you're going for a real person, Mr. Rogers.
Oh, fuck. The thing is, though, would Mr. Rogers be too compassionate to take the power for himself, and would he give it to Steve Irwin? Because he's so nice. I think he'd give it up, and then Bob Ross would be there painting it. There we go. So, you know what? I think it would go to Steve Irwin, because Mr. Rogers would be too nice to take it. He'd let Steve have it, so he could protect the animals. So what's the next one we've got on the list?
Love. Violet.
Violet, so the emotion of love. I'm going to go straight out there, because I've got Harry Potter on my mind, because we discussed Voldemort, and say Lily Potter.
Yeah.
So she sacrifices herself for her child out of an act of pure love, which is so strong it stops evil wizard Hitler from touching her baby. We can always go for unconditional love and name an animal. You could. There's nothing.
That's got to be some kind of dog.
Yeah, that's me. And which dog do we know loves everyone the most? What dog is the most lovable of all dogs? Beethoven. Beethoven could be...
You want me to put a dog head on the picture I presumably put behind you?
Well, we know animals can be lanterns. You don't have to be a humanoid to be a lantern.
True, yeah.
And Beethoven loves his family. What does Beethoven do to protect his family? A fucking whole lot. Beethoven protects his owner. He showed that. I think Beethoven's going to win it.
We were talking earlier about Joel from Santa Clarita. He's clearly got a lot of love for his wife.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
He's willing to do anything for her.
He does, including murder people. And I know how hard it's probably going to be to Photoshop a dog head in there. So you know what? Joel edges it out, so put him in. Have we got any more lanterns?
Oh god, there's black lanterns.
They're the ones that are defined by death. So that's Sean Bean.
No emotion.
Sean Bean.
You wanted Sean Bean in there, there he is.
Who's died more than Sean Bean? Who else will be the god of death in that universe but Sean Bean? So if memory serves, there is one more lantern colour, and it's white. And I don't remember what it is. What does the list say?
The list says white is life.
Oh, well, I should have probably got that. The opposite of death is life. Okay, so we need a fictional character or human who exists in this world who embodies the concept of life the most. And you got any? I'm drawing a blank on this one.
Well, I mean, my immediate instinct is to go from someone or something who came back from the dead.
Ah, I see.
Because obviously that's showing they've. I'm going to go Aslan, because isn't he meant to be an interpretation of Jesus?
Yeah, Lion Jesus. Yeah. So you only offer Lion Jesus, and then maybe we could throw in Jon Snow or something, because he dies and then comes back to life, and obviously he's fighting for the lives of all the people.
He's fighting for the living.
Yeah, he's fighting for the living. He's literally fighting an army of dead people, so that makes sense. But I'm going to go, again, a bit off the wall, but I think it suits. I'm going to go for Steve McFadden, the actor who plays Phil Mitchell in EastEnders, because his career should have been dead like 20 years ago, and he somehow kept it alive purely by going to fucking nightclubs and doing appearances.
You know what? Well, why not?
Because I was like the idea of him just stood in his pure Colgate white fucking lantern suit, just beyond everyone else. Look at this pantheon of heroes right here.
I think step to one side.
Okay.
And I'll rearrange them so you've got like the full full
Pantheon
spread.
here. Welcome to the new DC universe, folks. It can't be any worse than what they're actually doing.